What's up, early campers? We got something really exciting for you today. Ever heard of the PDW or a PCC? Well, now today you're going to learn about it. Hey, cameraman, look up. What are you still taking a photo, video of the shoes? You asked me about it for 30 minutes before we got on here. I already told you, these are those Solomon Speed Cross 6s. They're going to be coming to Borelli stores real soon. Don't you worry. Maybe I'll give you a friends and family discount if you act right with this camera. Now turn it up a little bit and remember to face me now. Yeah, now that's more like it. But you know what, since we're here already, why don't I give you a quick tour on what the fit check is, just because everyone cares so much. Firstly, like I said, we got the Solomon Speed Cross 6s. We got the Prada denim jeans, made in Italy. Not going to talk about the price tag either. Then we got the Comme des Garçons Junya Watanabe belt, very worker edition, very for me when I'm sweating in this really hot room in South Florida. Price tag, not going to talk about it. Shirt, you wonder what that is, this old rancher looking thing? This is Double RL. If you haven't heard of Double RL, I'm putting you on right now. Personally, my favorite, high-end, so to speak, apparel brand. Mostly made in the US. It's Ralph Lauren spin-off brand. We could do something about that and talk about it another time. Price tag, you want to know? Not going to talk about it. But if we want to really get to what we're going to talk about. Oh, I forgot the main piece. Yeah, you're obviously trying to talk about this Walther PDP F Series 3.5-inch barrel. Really gorgeous. I have it equipped with a TLR 7X subcompact and FDE. Just something because I'm feeling a little extra fashionable today, obviously. Price tag, you want to know? I'm not going to talk about it. Just kidding. But like I said, back at the barn, right? And I'm not talking about this Double RL shirt. Why we all showed up here today, why I showed up was to get paid. And part of me getting paid was talking about these various gorgeous firearms that are behind me, which actually happens. One of them happens to be my favorite firearm ever made, period. I don't care. Obviously situationally will change the fact of what I want, but for the most part, and thank God, Southern Florida and a nice sunny day, it's just my favorite thing ever. To recap, all jokes aside, what we're going to be doing, we're going to be going over the difference between a PCC and a PDW. A PCC, aka a pistol carbine caliber, which is either, typically a 9mm or a 45, let's say, versus a PDW. That's a modern take of a subgun. PDW stands for personal defense weapon. It could be chambered in really any type of caliber. The one I'm going to feature today, just to keep the comparisons very similar, PCC versus the PDW. So let's get right into it, campers. On the left, we're going to be featuring a Daniel Defense PCC, new product of 25, late 24. If you haven't heard of it, you got to hear about it. I've shot it before. If you ever shot a paintball gun before, there's more recoil on a paintball gun, I'll tell you that. Then we have the St. Victor, which is excellent. I personally love flat triggers with a little more weight. This has a 5.5-pound flat weight nickel-plated trigger. That's really great. I'll show you what that looks like. And then, yes, my baby, my favorite. No shade to any other brands out there. No shade to any other brands out there. Every parent's got a favorite. Remember that, okay? And I didn't learn that the hard way. I learned that the easy way. But yeah, we have the HK. Even just talking about the bag, these zippers are smooth as butter. You could see me just doing that, no problem. It just goes to show what kind of smoothness that PDW is going to have. So let's get right into it. We only have one PDW, which is the HK, and we have two PCCs, which is the St. Victor 5.5-inch barrel and the Daniel Defense. Let's start with the Daniel Defense. So here we have the Daniel, absolutely gorgeous, all steel. Just to get right into it, if I wasn't talking about a PCC versus PDW and you just happen to see this image online, if you knew better, you would think to yourself, hey, this is right an AR something, if you're not so familiar. And that's what essentially the PCC is all about. It's meant to be a pistol caliber. So again, like I said, the 9mm or the 45, but with an AR style functionality. The reason people like that is because obviously people are used to their AR-15, their AR-10s. They want the bolt release, they want the charging handle. And why people like this is obviously, and what makes it a PCC is essentially the makeup of the gun that takes the caliber. That's the bolt release. You have a similar style charging handle. Look at that butter. Could run that all day. Plastic mag release right by the index finger. You have an M-lock rail to be able to attach your slings, your lights, whatever it is, with a little hand guard. It comes with this tactical brace, which is great. Extend it in and out. Thread pitch, 1x28 thread pitch. So with that, you'll be able to attach any 9mm can you have on it. Interesting fun fact I learned actually today is that the Army has now approved the use for all combat soldiers to now be issued a suppressor for usage. They did a study between 4 groups, a group with an ear pro without a suppressor, with an ear pro without a suppressor, without an ear pro without a suppressor, and without an ear pro with a suppressor. And what do you think? Every situation with the suppressor, the performance was 10 times higher. Just a side note, fun fact I like to drop in. Yeah, that is the Daniel PCC. It's absolutely gorgeous. It feels rich. It feels fancy. It feels like my Prada denim. And if you haven't shot it yet, I'd recommend you shooting it. Come to a local range. If you haven't bought it yet, I'd recommend you buying it. You know where to buy it. Don't play games. Comes with this great carrying case. Daniel, you know, always coming through with the proper accessories. But I mean, again, look at that. You just can't beat that butter right there. Coming into the fold now, we have the St. Victor 5.5-inch barrel. Also PCC. This one also runs in 9. Have the bolt charge, you have the charging handle, also smooth like butter. You have the exit port, and you also have the M-lock rails on a shorter barrel though, but it'll still allow you to attach your optics, your lights, your accessories. Again, a nice pick rail at the top, which is great. The one item I would prefer over the Daniel is that flat trigger, 5.5 pounds. That's great. But it's an aluminum lower, so it's a very lightweight gun. But I compared the two side by side. You can see how they're both very, very similar. This one a little shorter, but they both have the pick rails. In regards to the magazine capability, I don't understand why every brand doesn't have a universal magazine capability. Obviously, it's to make more money. I don't know, but we'll save that one for the comments. But the Daniel PCC takes a more commonly used, the CZ Scorpion standard PMag. And that's great because there's a lot of universality with that. Won't run you that extra buck to find something special. Whereas the St. Victor will specifically only take the Colt style mag that's 32 rounds. The round count is great, but again, it's a more of an exclusive mag mag. And then you have, last but not least, my absolute favorite, the SP5K PDW, made in Germany by HK. So now we'll go over the differences on why this is, if you could tell already, they're very small, and they're both, this whole category is essentially compact firearms, and not compact like I'm carrying my PDP here, a compact, I guess, more rifle style. But you could already tell the differences. If you remember on the video, there is no standard AR style here, and that's essentially what does not make this to be a PCC. Instead of having a T-bar charging handle where I pull here, you have a charging handle right there, hence the classic HK slap. Custom mag, MP5, SP5s is the only mag that'll work with them. So there is no universality there. But HK did do it first, so everyone should have just followed them respectfully. And this is what a PDW is, a personal defense weapon. I personally carry, this is my home defense weapon. I have a light, I have a foregrip. It's just absolutely amazing. I'll just do the HK slap for you one more time, because why not? I mean, then you're just ready to go, right? I mean, but yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. That is essentially the breakdown of the difference between the different firearms. Again, it was a PCC versus a PDW. I hope you understand what works best for you. The PCC, I'd rather have a PDW. That just sounds more cool to me. Sounds like a Pavlo, so any of us that have played any type of war games, I mean, Pavlos, you'd love when you have that upgrade ability. All jokes aside, the PCC is great for competition. It'll give you the best performance in regards to target hitting because the barrel is longer, whereas this one's a little shorter. But again, to me, the differences are marginal, and I'd rather this on my side any day of the week. Thank you guys for your time. I hope this gave you an idea of what is best for you. And thank you for tuning into Borelli. Thank you for continuing doing business with us. We really appreciate it. We're looking forward to getting more videos done with you. It takes a while to become even slightly knowledgeable of this industry. There's so many nooks and crannies. We are trying to do our best to educate the masses. So we appreciate all the support, all the love you show us, all the comments you show us. We're just here to try to make it better for everyone and easier for everyone. I came into this not knowing anything, still barely know anything compared to the people I learned from, but hey, tomorrow's another day, right? So